majority of scenes in modern pornography and some of the most popular clips of pornography today do portray in a positive way violence or aggression against women. And it teaches the women that this is what men want. So it teaches them also to act as if they like being treated as if they were an object in a dehumanized way. And it teaches the men that women are simply objects to be used and not human beings to bond with.
A couple of little data points here. Studies found that exposure to violent and rape pornography increased the child's odds of experiencing sexual exploitation 3 to 5 times. That's from JAMA, the medical journal. Kids who view online pornography are more likely to engage in risky sexual activities or have anxiety or depression. And of course, acting out. And another form of acting out, besides child-on-child abuse, is imitating what they see and thinking it's okay to take nude pictures of themselves and to share those online, or nude videos of themselves. And this is called sexting, which is a highly risky behavior. And then, of course, to share images that they've seen.
I, at 12, 13 years old, started consuming pornography so I could feel attracted to women. I was medicating with these videos and pictures that he was sending me from online websites like Pornhub to kind of fix a broken, hollow sense of sexuality. I would wake up in the morning and play games and go to school and come home and play games and play games and watch porn and play games. And like that was my life. I was trapped in the cycle of pornography, self-harm, depression, anxiety. And when you consume all of this content and you allow it to form you, you rob the world of the wonderful gift of yourself.
I got into this battle for personal reasons because I was a consumer, very young age. My exposure to porn was at 12. One of the elders in our church had a stash in his backyard shed. And when I was exposed to that image, that first magazine, it was like a drug injected in my veins. And literally, a young mind having a sexual encounter or a sexual experience with pornography, that it had a profound imprint in my mind and profoundly wounded my ability to see sex and women in a healthy light. From that point of that first exposure, I became, now I would be able to say addicted. It was mood altering. So in that, the first experience was shame and pleasure in the same experience. So pleasure, excitement, arousal, sex charge images are, inject a natural drug within our brain. 12 years old, here I am trying to pursue material that is not healthy for any young mind to learn and grow and to consume. And so for 12 to 16, I was a major consumer. It had a profound impact on how I saw women, how I treated women, and even in terms of my fantasy world, like what I wanted sexually. The thing that was probably the most impactful for me was that my sister was like my best friend, and we did everything together. I came across a magazine in a ditch that was thrown out by a car, and that magazine was titled something like Playing with Little Sis. And so not only did it encourage brother-sister relationship, but it set many stories about how to set those up. And so at 16, I had a sexual encounter with my 14-year-old sister based on the material that I had read. And the profound impact on my heart, because I knew this was wrong. Here's somebody that I really cared about. Here's somebody that I was special to me. And to cross that line was huge for me. And I swore right then that I was never going to do it again. I'm never going to consume, never going to, I'm done with it.
This is a disorder characterized by a persistent pattern of failure to control intense repetitive sexual impulses or urges, resulting in repetitive sexual behavior. This is a prevalent, growing issue, and some people believe this is just an issue with men. It is not. With 7% of adult females 18 and up, and we will likely see that rise. We're seeing more and more females come into treatment for compulsive sexual behavior disorder because more and more porn is being tailored and directed to them. And this is being more and more normalized.
We don't protect them from pornography. It's the easiest addiction a child can get today. And I have talked to therapists who were treating a 6-year-old for full-on pornography addiction.
Any form of powerful learning physically changes the brain. Pornography is certainly a form of powerful learning with regard to the brain, with pleasure, with emotion, with the physicality of what happens with sexuality. And so it deeply imprints the brain in that way and changes the brain. Recovery or changing our perspective with regard to human sexuality, where it becomes much more than just pleasure, much more than just a shot of vodka or a hit of cocaine. It becomes a bonding life experience. That also is a powerful form of learning. It's actually a much deeper high. Two things that you can see are number one, structural changes. You look at that with a structural MRI and you can measure changes in certain areas of the brain. You measure the differences in someone that's compulsively using whatever their addictive behavior of choice is compared to someone that's not, and there's differences. And then the other one is metabolic changes. And that is a Q type study, a metabolic MRI. And these metabolic MRIs look more at metabolism. In other words, if you show someone that is addicted to a line of cocaine and you measure their kind of metabolic response in the reward center, it will, with the appropriate chemicals, look at that light up, so to speak. Numerous studies now that show that someone that's not addicted to pornography may see it and may even have an aversion to it and go, wow, that's kind of off from what I'm used to seeing, versus someone that's compulsively using pornography where they would light up, so to speak, with their reward system, with the behavior.
The world of online porn, very, very hard addictions to break, because once you stop looking and consuming online, you still have those images that have now imprinted there that you can call up at will. And a lot of that, at least from what I've learned, is about retraining your brain, reprogramming your brain to be thinking on things that are lovely and beautiful and what's God's real intention for sexuality and everything.